Glad you are back, brothers and sisters. Church Galaxy team welcomes you to another exciting video. Overlooked details of the Red Sea crossing. The crossing of the Red Sea is one of the most memorable and cinematic events recorded in the Bible. This brief section of history has been captured in several films as well as in thousands of Sunday school lessons and coloring pages. So if we were asked to recount this story, we could probably list many of the highlights without consulting scripture. However, because the episode is so famous, and depictions of the event are so numerous, we will inevitably miss some details. The story is perhaps too familiar. This was certainly the case for me. I recently reread this portion of Exodus and felt like I was reading this passage for the first time. 4 important details. Peter has written extensively and deeply on all of Exodus and on this passage specifically. To learn how this event fits into the whole book of Exodus, and for a razor-sharp look at this particular episode, I encourage you to read his article. Here I will highlight some aspects of Exodus 13 to 14 that I had not remembered. These details are not just interesting, they help guide us to the main point of the passage. Remember, good observation fuels accurate interpretation. Israel crossed at night. For understandable reasons, all pictures and video depicting this event happened during the day. That makes for a much better coloring page. But this event happened in the dark of night. See Exodus chapter 14 verse 24 and Exodus chapter 14 verse 27, where it seems that the Israelites crossed during the night, with their path illuminated by the pillar of fire, and then the Egyptians started their pursuit at first light of the morning. As we will see below, God aimed to confuse the Egyptians, and the nighttime setting was an important ingredient. The wind blew all night to part the sea. Yes, Moses stretched out his hand in order to divide the sea, but the way this happened was that the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. Exodus chapter 14 verse 21. This miracle did not happen in an instant but rather over the course of several hours. Imagine waiting by the side of the sea while this was happening. The pillar of cloud protected Israel. God went with his people out of Egypt in the form of the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire. His primary purpose was to lead and direct his people, and those very pillars led Israel to the shore of this great sea. But God led Israel in a roundabout way to this particular spot in order to provoke Egypt to pursue their valuable runaway slaves. Once Egypt caught up, there was a real threat. Then the angel of God who was going before the host of Israel moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up the night without one coming near the other all night. Exodus chapter 14 verses 19 to 20. The Egyptians fled from Israel. In my memory, the Egyptians pursued Israel into the bed of the Red Sea, the Israelites exited on the other side, and then the Egyptians drowned as the waters returned to normal. But that's not what happened. The Egyptians, having been provoked by the Lord to chase the Israelites, went into the sea. Exodus chapter 14 verse 23. But the Lord intervened. He threw the Egyptian forces into a panic, clogging their chariot wheels so that they drove heavily. Exodus chapter 14 verses 24 to 25. The Egyptians knew they were in trouble, so they decided to flee. Exodus chapter 14 verse 25. So, it was while these two nations were running away from each other that the Red Sea covered Pharaoh's army. Why these details matter? The Lord determined that he would get abundant glory at the Red Sea. He said, "And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them, and I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord." Exodus chapter 14 verse 4. He says much the same to Moses again in Exodus chapter 14 verses 17 to 18. This was not just about God getting glory from the Egyptians. He also wanted his people to know and fear him. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Israel saw the great power that the Lord used against the Egyptians, so the people feared the Lord, and they believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. Exodus chapter 14 verses 30 to 31. This is crucial, because the Israelites were greatly afraid when they saw Pharaoh and his army drawing near. Exodus chapter 14 verse 10. Moses told the people, "Fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent." Exodus chapter 14 verses 13 to 14. The four details above show God's hands-on involvement in the crossing of the Red Sea. God rescued his people and closed the door to any possible return to Egypt. In tangible ways, the Lord fought for his people as he promised. When God sets out to deliver his people and gain glory for himself, he will make both happen. Please subscribe and comments. Hit the bell icon to be notified of more videos like these.